Everybody's talking about building the next big thing in AI, but let's be honest, very few people are actually making any money. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to dive into the 3 AI business models that are quietly making a killing right now. And we'll uncover the one crucial mistake that dooms most people before they even get started.
And you know what? It really is that simple. It's not about not being smart enough or having a bad idea. Nope, it's about the path you choose on day one. Getting this one single point is the absolute first step to getting on the right track.
So let's break down where it all goes wrong. It really comes down to this battle between chasing something super complex versus just chasing cash flow. Everyone tells you to go build something revolutionary, but as you're about to see, that's a total trap. It just burns through your most valuable assets, your time, your energy, and your money. I mean, does this sound familiar? The first instinct is always, I'm going to build an app, or I'm going to build a whole SaaS platform. We get so lost in the weeds trying to code and invent something totally new, only to look up 6 months later with absolutely nothing to show for it.
But what if that entire approach is just fundamentally flawed? What if the real opportunity here has almost nothing to do with the actual technology? Let's completely reframe this, because this right here, this is where the winners separate themselves from the pack.
Okay, so this is probably the most important slide of this entire thing. Listen up. AI is a tool. It is not the opportunity itself. The real opportunity, the real gold mine is distribution. Because if you can't get your product in front of customers, you don't have a business. You just have a very expensive hobby.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Look, on the left, you have beginners. They are obsessed with the tech, the tools, the code, the app. But on the right, you have the winners. They are obsessed with something completely different: distribution, building an audience, and selling simple solutions to real problems. It's a night and day difference in focus.
All right, so now that we've got that critical mindset shift out of the way, let's get to the playbook. These are the 3 business models that are proven to work. Forget the hype. This is what's actually putting money in people's pockets right now.
First up, and the most accessible, is what we call AI service arbitrage. You're not building anything new here. The best way to think about it is like this. You're not the company that makes the power drill. You're the person who uses the power drill to build decks for people. You're selling the outcome, not the tool.
So for example, think about creating social media content. A local business might be paying a marketing agency $3,000 a month. You could walk in, use a suite of AI tools, and deliver the same or even better results for $1,000 a month. Your costs might only be a few $100s in subscriptions. The profit margin is massive. And here's why this model is so perfect for beginners. Just look at this. The startup cost is incredibly low because you're just using existing tools. The margins are high because your costs are minimal. And, most importantly, the cash flow is fast. You do the work, you get paid. It's the absolute quickest path from zero to making actual money. Okay, let's move on to Model 2, which builds on that. This is about playing the long game. So instead of doing one-off services, you're now building a brand and an audience around solving one very specific problem for a very specific group of people. This is how you build a real asset.
For instance, you could decide to become the #1 expert on AI for real estate agents. You start creating helpful content on YouTube, you build an email list, and then you sell digital products to that audience, things like prompt packs or pre-built automation systems. The key is to pick one niche and just completely own it.
Now notice the trade-off here. The cash flow is slower. And why is that? Well, because you have to invest time up front to build trust and grow that audience. That doesn't pay you on day one. But the payoff is huge scalability. You can sell a digital product to 10 people or 10,000 people with basically no extra work. You're no longer trading your time for money. And this brings us to Model 3, which is where the really serious money gets made. You're not starting an AI business anymore. What you're doing is taking a proven, profitable business and then making it radically better by injecting AI into it. Just think about it for a second. A marketing agency that uses AI to instantly automate all of its client reports. Or a recruiting firm that uses AI to screen thousands of resumes in just minutes. See, in this model, AI isn't the thing you're selling. It's the leverage that makes your existing service completely unbeatable. This shift in mindset is everything. Your strategy isn't about technology anymore. It's about leverage. Your sales pitch isn't about AI. It's about your client's bottom line. More speed, better efficiency, higher profits. This is when you stop being an AI hobbyist and start acting like a serious entrepreneur who solves expensive problems. Okay, so you've got these 3 models. How do you actually use them? Well, they're not just separate options you pick from.
They're actually rungs on a ladder that you can climb strategically, even if you're starting from absolute zero.
And here is the exact path. You start with service arbitrage to get some immediate cash flow in the door. Then you reinvest that cash into building an audience with Model 2. And finally, you use that audience and that cash flow to build a truly scalable system with Model 3. Cash flow to audience to leverage. That's the entire ladder.
Now, knowing the models is one thing, but execution is everything. Having the playbook isn't enough if you fall into the same traps that stop 99% of people. So, let's be crystal clear about what it really takes to win.
Because even with this playbook, you can still fail. Here's exactly how. You get greedy and you try to get passive income from day one. You take a beautifully simple model and you make it way too complicated. And crucially, you spend all your time consuming content instead of going out and actually selling something. You get stuck in theory and never take action.
So let's end on the most important takeaway of all. AI is not a magic wand. It's not going to just create a business for you. It's leverage, and leverage only works if you apply it to a solid foundation. It multiplies your effort, but it cannot create effort out of thin air. You have to provide the force.
So what does that force look like in the real world? What's the price of admission here? It's not a weekend project. It's this number. 12 months. 1 full year of picking one of these models and just executing on it, relentlessly, day in and day out. That is the honest, realistic time frame to build something that actually lasts.
So, we've covered it all. The common mistakes, why you have to focus on distribution, and the 3-step ladder from cash flow to audience to leverage. The entire playbook is right in front of you. The theory is done. So the only question left is, are you willing to commit to the action for the next 12 months and make it real?